good.
Okay, we know you as Lost in Colour, but can you introduce yourself for us?
Okay, I'm Neil and I play bass and sing a little.
I'm Ben and I play guitar and I'm the lead vocalist.
I'm Dan on drums.
Every time. I'm Josh and I do some vocals when I feel like it.
And play guitar.
Play guitar, fuck. Yeah, sorry.
So if you had to describe a Lost in Colour gig to a Lost in Colour virgin in 3 words, what would they be?
Weird.
It would be a damn good way to take away your virginness.
Virginity would be the word. Be the very best way. I'd say weird. What would you say, Neil?
I'll say wonderful.
Weird. Let's just go for intense.
Intense.
Go for intense.
I'd go for slightly creepy.
So
Can
creepy.
we just have one more word? Dan, say energetic.
I'll say wonderful.
Energetic.
Wonderful. Energetic.
Energetic.
Sweet.
Okay, so there's going to be a change to the lineup fairly soon. Can you tell us who's leaving and any news on the new members?
He's leaving.
We'll leave it to Dan. We'll let Dan
Oh,
describe
go on
it.
then.
I'm going. I've got commitments at uni, got to become an accountant.
Yeah.
So I've got to leave these guys, unfortunately.
Who's joining?
I don't care.
The guy who's joining is called Tom Gaskill. He's 17 and an actual dude. But your YouTube video, Gaskill, I will kill you.
It's no good, man.
That was
Did
very
it far
good.
too
That was
early.
very good.
Gaskill. How you doing?
The rest of you, how do you feel about him leaving and how do you think the new member will?
I mean, like we've all been in, me and Ben have been in like bands with Dan
Look into Dan's eyes.
since. Me and Ben have been in bands with Dan since we were like really young.
Since we were little, since we started
So
playing
it's
guitar.
going to be like a big change, even with Phil leaving, like the back end of last year, and Neil joining. It's all sort of got sort of a bit weird.
Yeah, it's
but it's sort
strange.
of getting adjusting to it now. I mean, when Dan leaves, it will even be weirder.
Yeah.
So you got you can't drive the van and stuff like that. But
It's
you know,
literally, we've grown up with Dan as our drummer. Every band we've been in, Dan's
So
like been our
sweet.
drummer, so it's really weird for us to kind of move on to something
it
different.
is a bit annoying. at
But
times,
it's also exciting in a different way, I suppose.
Dad is leaving, and
yeah. we get to try something a bit different, like especially with Tom. Like we haven't, Dan's not playing any of the like newer stuff because we might as well end Lost in Colour as the Lost in Colour that everyone knew when Dan was in the band. So
Yeah.
might as well end it that way.
And obviously we're not leaving in bad terms because the dude's right here.
Dan Taylor,
It's,
2010 or something. Before that, I don't know.
yeah, whatever.
Okay, can you remember when you first wanted to play music and get into performing and what made you?
That's a good question.
Like-
When I first wanted to play music, I think it was my dad was in a band when he was younger, and he always used to play guitar around me when I was small. So it's kind of something I've always been kind of interested in from when I was little. And then he took me to my first show at Wembley, and it was kind of like I saw everyone on stage. And I was like, I would love to be there. I would love to do that. Like, that's me. I can't see myself doing anything else. So that's when I first kind of started to want to play music.
We'll go with just say different people.
Yeah,
I
was
think.
gonna say do one each.
I think I started listening to a band called Blink-182, a band called Blink-182, like no one knows who they are. When I was like about 10, and they sort of everything they did, I was like, wow, it's amazing. I love watching like the live DVDs. I bought everything they had, and it's really got me into playing guitar and stuff. Like I just sort of taught myself by listening to Blink songs and like writing songs that sounded exactly like Blink songs, but you've got to start somewhere. So, but no, it was really that's how I sort of got into playing music, just like through Blink-182 and stuff like that.
Do you want to shoot first? Or should
There
I
you
take
go.
it?
I'm
Alright,
still thinking.
when I was growing up, I was dumb at football and dumb at video games, so I sort of picked up a guitar and played around with it until I learned some chords, and then I sort of gone on from there. And obviously, like you watch kind of bands, and that's when you kind of find your feet and who you want to be and your influences and stuff. So I think it was really young for me since I started to want to prance about on stage like a buff.
Sweet.
I was pushed into drum lessons in year 3, I think, and since then I've just been in cover bands, and then stumbled into these guys. I said, "Here's Paul Jack's Lennon," and I ended up in this band.
Okay, my friend told me something the other day, and it's that you can't lick your elbow. So I wondered if you'd help me find out if it's fact or
Well,
fiction.
this is a possibility. We've
I
all
could lick
tried
Josh's
the-
elbow if you want.
I mean, to be honest, a lot of our money has gone into finding out whether someone can lick their elbow or not. It wasn't a waste of money.
The reason we cancelled playing Glastonbury Festival last year is because we were just too busy trying to lick our own elbows.
We locked ourselves in a laboratory for a good 7 or 8 weeks.
Same thing for Download.
Yeah.
Same thing for Ready.
Same thing for playing touring with Whitesnake. I mean, every time I tried it. Nearly though.
Yeah.
See, just
Close.
did it. Just did it.
A couple
We got
more
so
thousand
close.
pounds. Go on,
We got so close. I reckon we invest another what?
10,000.
Million dollars.
No, about $10,000.
Then
We
you
might
got to
get
work
there.
in dollars here.
I'm gonna get a plastic stem to extend my elbow out a bit, like
Yeah,
a
if you
hammer.
lick it.
Yeah, that will make it.
Oh yeah.
Basically, after extensive research, we found out that it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Okay, on a more serious note, you're playing Heavy next Sunday. So
Yes.
are you looking
Indeed.
forward to it?
I'm looking. It's going to be the best show I've played, and I know for Dan as well, with him leaving and stuff, it's going to be like a real highlight for him in the band. You know, playing such a big festival. It's like really cool to. It seems like stuff is finally paying off. Although we're not, the biggest band in the world or whatever, still playing small shows. Like to play Heavy on a stage right next to the main stage where everyone turns around and watches is quite cool. Like to be under the same names as like bands like the Gallows and Glassjaw. It's
So
something
well.
that I would have never thought I was doing, even though it's not that people would say, oh, you're on this stage, it's not that big, but I think to us it's something massive.
Yeah, what bands are you looking forward to seeing as well when you're there?
What bands are you?
I'm looking forward to see Glassjaw and Gallows, because we're there on a Saturday as well, and Gallows I've seen a few times, and their live show is so crazy.
Mental, absolutely mental.
Us-
I'm also looking forward to seeing the Subways. I think they're really good. Personal influence.
And a few bands on the other stage, but I know me and Neil are want to see Death Nirvana
Yeah,
and Twin
that's what I was
Atlantic
going
as
to
well.
say. Twin Atlantic, probably for me. Glassjaw, more than any band I've ever wanted to see in the whole world ever, because they're my favourite bands.
We get to watch them side stage, which is even more.
If I can see side stage for Glassjaw, I'll die happy the next day.
There you go.
Okay, so you're going on tour in October. Can you tell us anything about who you're going with, where you're playing?
It's difficult. We can't say much because we don't know too
we can
much.
tell your band, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the band that we're going on tour with is a band called Make Me King.
Yeah.
You're from Preston.
Yeah,
Way
who we instantly met and we clicked.
Yeah,
we get on with them so
yeah,
well. Such
absolutely
nice
do.
guys.
Yeah.
Such nice guys.
And instantly after that, they were like, "Oh, you want to sort out something?" We said, "Yeah." And then our friend Charlotte is sort of booking it. Who owns the label? So Riot Pop owns that, and she's doing that for us.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get a few good venues in.
Yeah, there should be one
Hopefully
around
so.
Maidstone and like everywhere, every place that we should play. We are.
Out of
playing.
everywhere, you said Maidstone.
Yeah, we're here. We're in Maidstone now, so I thought, Maidstone. I don't know wherever.
Islington, Birmingham, hopefully.
That's all we know so far.
Yeah, we don't know too
Yeah.
much.
You can't say too much.
Yeah,
We don't know anything.
Official.
there you go.
Okay, and have you got any plans to go into the studio anytime soon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
I think we're supposed to be going in, and we wanted to go in August, but obviously with Dan leaving and things, it just wasn't practical. And then Tom was away, so our new drummer Tom was away. So I think we're just going in. We're playing a Barfly show in September, which is on the 19th, which is our first show with Tom, which you should check out. It's on the 19th of September, which is a Sunday, I believe. So come and check that out. And I think we're trying to get to the studio after that or whenever it's available, and it should be great. We've got a few more days there to do one song. I think we're doing about 3 days for one song to try and get it really perfect, as opposed to settle for a couple of days and just
Yeah, and
be.
rushing and
Yeah.
not being able to
Yeah.
So
experiment.
it gives us the right amount of time to do.
We're looking to really try and do something different. Try and do something that we love doing and not something we want to fall into doing because it fills up a crowd that's already full, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And also, hopefully, if we have money, which we probably won't, we're looking to do a video by the end of the year with Sitcom Soldiers, which would be absolutely amazing. It would be personally a highlight for me.
Yeah, I think what we'll do with them is will be the single from an EP later this year
Yeah.
or the start of next year or something. Which is what we're looking to do, but I don't know what's going to happen yet. We'll find out in the next few months.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So Lady Gaga's famous for her outrageous outfits and things. So if you had to dress up on stage, what would you wear?
I think I'd wear whatever I want. If I found something I wanted to wear and put it on. Obviously now I'm a bit a bit sort of standard. I've got short jeans on, but I like weird stuff. I think Lady Gaga's cool. She's
I
fucked
think
up, she's
I'll
cool.
bet of if we ever play to less than 10 people in a venue, we made a pact to play naked, and it's never happened.
I think it
So,
has happened. We just.
If you all feel like not turning up to
No, it's like
have us play naked, then fine. But there's
Yeah.
no point because you won't even sit.
Yeah, you won't even say it. What's the point?
Okay, so if you had to date another member of Lost in Colour, who would you pick
Dan.
and why?
Dan.
I probably don't.
Do you have a reason why, or
Why you date? I date Dan. Because
Yeah.
look at him, he's
It's
trim.
muscly.
Look at this Italian stallion, man.
And because his Fred Perry shirt supplied by
Neil Allen from Fred Perry, Ashford.
2010.
okay, if you had the chance to play any festival, what festival would you pick?
Reading. Like,
It's got to be Reading, isn't it? Absolutely.
It's exactly the perfect thing we want, crowd we want to play to, and you know, Reading would be incredible seeing because I haven't been to Reading yet. I think I'm going this year, and I want it for me playing Reading would be incredible. Like to play with such massive bands that I love.
Who would you like to be on the lineup if you were to get the chance to play?
I quite like the lineup this year on the Sunday. What is it? They got Paramore and like Blink-182 and things. But then again, you know, if like I don't think Sigur Rós will ever play like Reading or something like that, but they might play Glastonbury at some point, which is something that I get onto if we got that sort of into that sort of crowd and stuff. Playing with them would be incredible.
Okay, and finally, where can fans find out more about you and your gigs? And
they can find out about us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/Lost in Colour, you know, myspace.com/Lost in Colour, Twitter /Lost in Colour. That forward slash? That's a forward slash.
That's one.
That one there. That's a forward
That's
slash.
a forward slash.
Lost in Colour. I think it's any website /Lost in Colour.
Yeah, pretty much. Type us in Google, we'll come up.
Lost in Colour in Google.
Adult friend finders /Lost in Colour.
Yeah, find us on there. You do whatever. I think we're on Lastford as well, but iTunes, that'd be the best place as well. We've got a single on iTunes which we put out in April, I think, which has got 2 tracks on it. Searching for The Sun in the Dark and 354. I think they're really cheap, like £79 tracks, so check that out. Lost in Colour, check it out. What's the last word? I think it's BAM. We'll also BAM on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
BAM!